Hi, this is Sean Powers. I have switched to Linux on the desktop, and it's already like 10:30, and I'm still trying to get my training session set up. So if you're ever frustrated like, "Oh, I can't get it set up so that I can record right." You're not alone. So first, let's go over some of the things that I have working well. I think this microphone, I now have it's like a cloud lifter. It's actually called a FET head, I think. It's an inline, it uses phantom power and amplifies the signal on the microphone. So I think the microphone is louder. And then I do have a couple things working well. For example, if we look down here, oh no, hold on. I have it screwed up. See, normally I would just edit this out, but I think I'm going to leave this in just because I'm going to show you all the ugly bits. Anyway, oh no, it's down here now. So I do have Ubuntu working. I have my virtualization system working, and it actually seems to work pretty well. I have it scaled properly. It's full screen. You get to see it well, as opposed to the past week where it has been horrible. I'm actually using the downloaded, not in the repository, but the downloaded version of VirtualBox. And the reason I'm doing that is so that when I do the resizing and I go full screen, it will automatically sync up full screen. Now the background image is weird, but that will actually fix itself here as soon as I do this. So I have to rescale it when I do that. That's using Xrender. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but you know, it's fine. It's actually working really well, and I'll be able to demonstrate this. It'll work the same on Rocky Linux. I had to do fresh installs, but anyway, that part is working really well. And I also have editing software. So I was using DaVinci Resolve. That's kind of been my main editor for quite some time. I will start it up and I'll try to. Actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on this, but the problem is DaVinci. Well, there's a couple problems. DaVinci Resolve does not. Hold on. Well, I don't want it full screen. I want it smaller. I don't even know if I can unfull screen it. Unmaximize. There we go. Can I move it? It doesn't seem to have any window borders either. Of course it doesn't. I wonder if I can drag it with Alt. Oh, I can. Oh, but I can't shrink it any, so that's going to be a bummer. Anyway, this this is DaVinci Resolve. There's a lot of problems with it, but mainly the interface is ridiculously tiny, so I can't really see what I'm doing. But that isn't even the big issue. The big issue is on Linux, DaVinci Resolve will not import MP4 files. It will not export MP4 files. And even if you do the paid studio version, it will not do anything with AAC audio, which is what is used in MP4 files. So it's pretty much frustrating and fairly useless. But I did find this program, Shotcut. And I've had bad luck in the past trying to use open source editing software. But I have to admit, I did edit with Shotcut, and it does seem to be pretty robust. It's a little bit finicky to get used to, you know, the terminology that they use and how they actually do stuff. Let's see, I edited this YouTube short using it, and this is on my small screen. It actually looks better when it's all blown up. But I mean, it does work. So it imports and exports MP4. It does a pretty decent job, and it didn't take me long to get used to it. So I think I'm going to be using Shotcut for the foreseeable future. So video editing is fine. I have virtualization that is finally working consistently well. My only nagging issue is presentations, because normally and Windows and even Mac, I would use PowerPoint. And you'd think, okay, you can just use LibreOffice. The problem is LibreOffice doesn't allow you to draw on slides. It's really, really weird. And the annotation on live things is okay, but I draw a lot and it does not have good drawing tools. One of my options, which I don't really care for, but I might end up doing, I have Office online, like Office 365. I pay for that. And so I could use the web-based version of it, and it does a decent job. I mean, it's kind of pokey and kind of slow, and I can't use like keyboard shortcuts to get the things down here, but I could, get a pen and then I could use my Wacom tablet and I could draw on it. But even that, it's like, oh, look at those really tiny annotation things that I can't change the size of. So I don't know. That's really frustrating. So I don't want to use PowerPoint in a web browser, but I mean, I guess if I have to, I can. There's a couple other options. I really liked this one. It's called Excalidraw. It actually is a web-based thing, and I'm hosting it myself on Docker, but just excalidraw.com if you want to play with it. This, I can make it go full screen. And I mean, it looks pretty cool. I can do some actually decent annotation with it, and I can, I mean, the stroke width there is pretty big. But I can do annotation, I can do drawings, I can do text. I obviously can, import pictures. But the problem is, if I need to do more than one page, it's not that way. I would have to like drag this stuff off and then, start drawing here, which I mean, I guess would be okay. And just, drag it off, but it's just a weird process to go through, and especially trying to set up slides. So I don't love Excalidraw for doing whiteboarding, but it's an option. Let's see. I've tried a whole bunch of them. There's another one here somewhere. There's one called My Paint. This one actually doesn't look too bad. This one actually seems pretty nice. The problem is with this one, what I would have to do is adopt like a layer mode, which, I did before. I used to use PowerPoint, or I used to use Photoshop for my slides. And I mean, I could do this and then, let's see, I guess I got to select, I don't want eraser mode. And I could do this, and then I would just have to use like new slides, like new layers for every slide, and I could do that. Just get everything invisible except for the layer that I'm using. And I don't know, maybe I'll do this one. Maybe this will actually be what I end up doing because it seems the most flexible. But this doesn't have like a set size, so I would either have to just let everybody see all this interface thing, or I could, I could do this. You like how you're like here in real time as I do the adjustments. So something like this, where you don't see the outside interface, but I could still draw. Like I could change to here, and I haven't drawn my comic in a while, and I've never used this, but I mean, this is the sort of thing that I could do. And then when I want to do another layer, I just do another layer over here, and you wouldn't actually see those things changing, but they would be changing. I have to remember to be on the layer. And, I could set things up in advance, and I don't know. Let's see, does the bucket work? Can I actually paint with this thing? Oh, look at that. Oh, it was open. Yeah, this is not a great drawing program. I guess it's made for sketching. Close that, close that. Now I just, for the point of it, I really want to get this painted, so. This is not even the right color blue, but that's okay. Wow, that's a pretty rough blue. Shoelaces. Anyway, so maybe this is what I'm going to do. I guess maybe My Paint is the program that I'll do, and then I'll just use layers to go from slide to slide, because then I can save each one as a file. But that's basically where I've been for the past week, trying to figure out how to get everything to work in Linux. And I'm so close. I'm so close. I think tomorrow's video will actually be me using My Paint as my slide deck, and I will do the next part of the Linux Plus exam. I'm not going to put this on my main channel. I think this is going to go on Inside the Brain of Sean. But anyway, that's where I'm at now. Everything else I think is working fairly well. I do like some things about being on Linux full time. You know, like I have local Docker installed for testing things out, and I have, you know, my backup stuff is easy because it's all like rsync and backup PC, and there's a lot of really cool things about running Linux as my main desktop. But trying to get the training stuff working has been a nightmare. Anyway, thank you for following along as I kind of demonstrated all my things. If you have thoughts on a slide deck software that you think I should try, please let me know, because I am all ears. Or if you know of a way to have LibreOffice Impress allow me to like draw freely, I just can't figure it out. It's all like vector stuff. It's really bizarre. I would just love to know how to do that as well. Anyway, learn everything, even if it's Linux desktop tools. Do what you love. And most importantly, be kind. I know this is just a weird slip shot video, but I'm going to edit it really quick in Shotcut and call it a night. See you next time.